right, a very happy Tuesday to everyone. I feel like I always lose track of my days. Thank you for joining News 10 Plus. I am Taylor Gattoni alongside Nicole Buchmann for News 10 Plus today. And Studio 10 has
a lot
happening today.
Yes.
And some shifting around.
Yes, a little bit. Yes, obviously there's a lot of stuff happening nationally. So we're kind of playing it by ear in terms of, when exactly our show will start. It might start a little bit later, but we're always ready to go,
You are. You're ready.
We always like it. We always have to be flexible. But yeah, this week we've been focusing a lot, of course, on Father's Day. And so I want to remind you guys right now that you are definitely, we are still taking dad submissions and nominations for your dad. So we're asking how dedicated is your dad? And if you put in, just tell us a story about what makes him so special with a picture, you are in for a chance to win prizes to all of these places on here. I'm not kidding you. I was putting together the gift packs and I was like, I want this. I mean, it's like $40 gift cards to Looking Glass. Where you can have an experience with your dad. You can eat or drink with him. Capital City Market. That's a great thing for your dad, for anything. Fun time miniature golfing. How fun is that?
That is very
There's
fun.
So many different kind of activities at these, and they're all local too, which makes it super special. But yeah, so just definitely go on to WILX.com/contest, and it's super easy to do. Just send us a picture, and then every day we've been drawing a winner. Yesterday we had a winner. Today we have another winner.
All right.
And also on the show, kind of on this Father's Day theme, you see on here it says General Old Store. They're one of the sponsors.
Yeah.
And so we're heading over there and showing you some of a little gift guide for your dad, because I don't know about you, but gift giving is it's my love language. I love it.
You're very good at it too.
Well, thank you. But sometimes when I give gifts, it's okay, something practical, something meaningful, and then kind of a gag gift. And I feel like at the Old Town General Store, you can get all three of them.
Perfect.
Because there's practical things like a hammock.
I actually just bought a hammock for someone.
Oh,
so I was they can use it, have fun in the summer.
Right. Memories, if you have younger kids or older, it's just an activity. And then meaningful, we have so many different kind of Michigan-made, things. We were just eating chocolate before this.
I have chocolate in my teeth, don't look.
Yes. Or muffin mittens, muffin mixes that are made here in Michigan. I know that's hard. That's really hard to say.
Muffin mixes.
Yes.
There you go. You really have to think about it.
Yes. But there's just so much. And then gag gifts too. There's funny, there's a sticker about oh, I'm late. Why? Because I'm in Frandor. Just funny things like that. But it's a Lansing nod. So anyway,
that one's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So I definitely want to stay tuned for Studio 10, so you can get a full kind of gift giving guide.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little.
Maureen and I were talking earlier, and we were what do you typically get your dad for Father's Day? It's so hard. Sometimes I think coffee, or a lot of handmade gifts, and how you said, you break it up, practical, gag gift, and then meaningful gift. There you go. But it's hard because for moms, you typically, the basics, flowers, chocolates, skincare or something. And for dads, it's how do I equally show my love towards my father?
Yeah. And if your dad's a big griller and, you're well, I don't have the money or the refrigeration for a nice steak, you could get them spices to put on there. And there's local, at Old Town Tavern, there is a whole bunch of different spices that are from and packaged locally here. So it's just something to think about. But anyway, we also have Claudia is doing a fun package on if you're looking for things to do during the day, you need a little break, or like during lunchtime, there's a cool church downtown Lansing that plays the organ, and it's like one of the oldest organs in the state. And so she's gonna talk a little bit about how you can go there. I guess she went there, and the guy who plays the organ was saying that how sometimes like Governor Whitmer will stop by and just like have some peace of mind and just listen to these concerts. It's just, it's just something that people don't like. I would have never known that there's concerts downtown at noon in a church, but there are. So it's just cool, and it's just kind of like a hidden gem that we're unveiling.
That's interesting too that our governor uses that as something to, like you said, clear her mind. It's like, okay, some music to help calm me down.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of step out of the office, literally. And then of course too, we're continuing our coverage or build up to Juneteenth, because we have that special next week on actual Juneteenth. So Rochelle's been showing us different people in our community that have really changed and shaped our community leading up to Juneteenth. And today's Judge Allen. And he, oh my gosh, just listening to a little bit of his interview, he just goes above and beyond. And, you know, like judges, they have to be fair. But, you know, he definitely makes sure he spends a lot of his time helping those that, you know, have maybe made mistakes, but trying to get them back on a good path. So it's going to be a good show, a little bit of everything here. And, so it's just a lot of fun. And, you know, we always ask fun questions. So you can always go on our socials and answer our questions. And it's been fun, too. We've been having some of our interns help us. And they've been a hoot, and they're the ones that have been asking the questions that we've been having the viewers answer. So I think today's is about ice cream toppings. So answer what your favorite topping is.
Yeah. Ice cream in general, you can't go wrong.
You really can't.
All right, let me move this.
All right.
Thank you for joining, Nicole.
Of course.
We'll see you maybe
at 3.
But anyways, if you ever want to stay connected with Studio 10, on your screen right now, you're seeing what Nicole was just mentioning, ways to stay connected. And then here we go over to their YouTube page. So because of all the live streams going on right now, and Trump's arraignment, right now we will be live streaming that at some point. There will be a special report, so we'll make sure to keep you all informed on that. But in case you miss out on any Studio 10 content, any of their amazing shows and or stories within their shows, you can go to YouTube at WILX Studio 10. You're going to hit that white and red subscribe button, and you can always go back and watch any of their segments. Very informative. So right now we are going to turn it to Justin Bradford and see what's going on, because we've needed the rain. We got some of it, and right now we're in this weird bullseye looking thing. So we're going to send it to Justin. He's going to let you know everything you need to know about the rain and when you need to pack your umbrella.
Well, we're trying to get a couple showers across mid-Michigan today, and I think a few of them will sprout up. Southern sections, I think, going to have an easier time getting a bit of rain, and so we'll show you that here in our hour-by-hour forecast breakdown. Again, we expect a few of those flare-ups to continue to occur heading into the late afternoon, and then a little bit of a steadier rain will start to settle in as we get towards the evening. Eventually, by the time we get to later evening hours, we'll start to see this die down, and then eventually we're dry overnight. I think lows will dip into the upper 40s by Wednesday morning, but we'll get back into sunshine. Temperatures are going to go back into the 70s on what should be a nice, pleasant day on Wednesday. Now, we're not done with the rain yet this week, at least I don't think. While we're dry to start the day on Thursday, I do think we'll bring in a batch of showers as we head into the Thursday time frame, maybe even a couple of storms with this as well. Either way, it'd be good to get any rain we can as we go throughout the next few days. I've got today's high at 70. Rain still in the forecast, maybe a storm, but this is mainly going to be south, and then even areas further east have a chance to see some of the flare-ups. First pitch forecast for the Lugnuts game tonight. They start a 6-game homestand against the Peoria Chiefs at Jackson Field. Should be a nice matchup throughout the week. Might have a shower to contend with early in the game. I think otherwise we're going to be through the 60s and eventually upper 50s by the time the game's done. Now we'll fall to 49 overnight, as I mentioned. Showers are going to wrap up early, and then tomorrow we get into sun. Thursday brings back the rain, and then Friday we're back into more sun once again. So it's kind of back and forth between the sun and showers over the next few days. But it does look like a very small chance that continues to grow smaller for Saturday rain. Should be a mainly sunny day, even if we do get a shower. And Sunday for Father's Day looks really good at 82. Juneteenth, 84 degrees on Monday, and then we get the summer heat on as we round out into next week. Highs in the mid to even upper 80s and lows back near 60 degrees. Hopefully we can catch a shower before next week is done. Otherwise, we're back to a very summer-like June forecast.
All right, thank you, Justin. I just want to mention real quick, if you have any questions for Justin or just questions, comments, and general feedback that you have for News 10 Plus, you can always comment live. Right on this monitor right here, we can actually look at live chats. So again, any questions you might have about particular weather systems or anything coming up on Studio 10 or in our later newscasts, or if you just want to say hello, feel free to do so. We can answer those live, not only by typing it back on this monitor, but we can verbally tell it to you right here on News 10 Plus. But I do want to mention what's coming up in our later newscasts. So here we go. Coming up, starting with first at 4. Today we are bringing in a wedding planner from Sage Events. So Many people around this time of year, if you go on social media, maybe you might just know of some people planning weddings, getting engaged. They might have a wedding coming up later this year. So I was talking with a wedding planner, and she's like, oh yes, right now is a very busy time, not only for those hosting a wedding, but those being a guest, right? Attending a wedding as well, whether you're traveling, planning out an outfit, needing a place to stay, even just getting a ride to the venue can be a very high expense, even if you're just a guest. That does not even count you hosting the wedding, right? So that'll be first at 4. We've got all of your wedding planning essentials, and you'll definitely want to tune in for that. News 10 at 5, using dodgeball to reduce stress, and I'm sure you can see why. We take you into the game where triggers are written on dodgeballs before being thrown away, all in an effort to prevent substance abuse and violence. So, I was able to hear a little bit about this, and I'm sure you can maybe catch on to how dodgeball could reduce stress, but you definitely want to tune in News 10 at 5 to watch and listen to what that means. News 10 at 5:30, new maintenance facility is now open in Blackman Township, and this will help Granger better serve the Jackson community. And then coming up, News 10 at 6, we take you to the Capitol, where commercial fishers and aquaculture farmers are being celebrated. There's a lot of big news with that. We will have that coming up, News 10 at 6. But right now what we're going to do is send it over to our reporters out in the field. We have Justin, we have Tanaya, Deanna, and Aaron all out there working right now. In fact, I do not see them in the newsroom because they're out and busy finding those stories and making sure they can inform you all about it coming up in our 90 minutes of news. So right now what we're going to do is see what they've got going on.
It's been a busy day here at the Capitol. 3 things being talked about a lot, and we're going to go into these 3 things coming up in our 90 minutes of news. We're talking a ban on childhood conversion therapy, removing the restriction from schools so they can start classes before Labor Day, and finally, you might be able to buy a beer pretty soon at Spartan Stadium. I'll have more on that coming up tonight. Now over to you, Tanaya.
College just got a little more affordable at Jackson College. Find out how the school is helping more people get the education and training they need for the future workforce. I'll have that story today on News 10 at 5:30.
Accidental gun deaths are not as common, but they do raise public concern. That's why DeWitt Township Police is giving away free safety gun locks to the community. I'm Deanna Giles, and I'll have that story on News 10 at 6. Aaron?
Thanks, Deanna. I'm Erin Bowling, and I'm on MSU's campus today to get an update on their security upgrades. The university says they're making a number of improvements, such as adding door locks, building a security operations center, and more. All of that story on News 10 at 6. Taylor, back to you at the desk.
All right, Justin, Tanaya, Deanna, and Aaron, thank you so much for sharing what you've got coming up during the 90 minutes of news following First at 4. Real quick before we head out here, there is a busy day in the newsroom, and here on News 10 Plus, we will be keeping you updated throughout the day. Trump's arraignment happening pretty shortly here. We are live streaming, so we'll have that coming up soon with Crystal, who's right here right now. She'll come on in just a bit. But if you want to stay updated with any of the showers that we have coming in later tonight and seeing what your chances are like in your area, here's where you can go to the News 10 First Alert Weather app. All of our meteorologists, us here at work, I was looking at it multiple times throughout today just because you never know when those rain chances really will come in. And I was talking with Justin earlier today, and even Colton last week, and it's kind of a tricky system to forecast, a track. I don't want to use their terminology because I'm not a meteorologist, but this is a great resource to go to. The News 10 First Alert Weather app, it is free for download off of the Google Play app or App Store, also the Apple App Store. So you can go there, you can turn off location, even if you're not in the Lansing, Jackson area, wherever else in our area. If you're traveling to Chicago, to Florida, if you set your location, it will follow you then. But because we are expecting those rain chances in our area, this is a great app to download. Again, it is free. Just search WILX Weather in the Apple App Store, Google Play App Store. So is there anything else? No? Nope, that's it. Crystal will be back, though, pretty shortly here to give you all of the latest updates. Stay tuned. Also, I know Nicole and I were talking about, because of the live stream with Trump happening, some things with Studio 10 and possibly First at 4 may change. So we will keep you updated if anything changes. But until then, have a great rest of your Tuesday. Oh, if I can turn the thing off. 1 second. Have a good one.